There were a group who were in the society which were believers in Abraham, believers in Moses, but weren't well integrated. You might call them the marginalized citizens of society. In this case, they were the tax collectors, the fishermen, the ones that were not considered in a respectful way being true Jews. They were kind of outside the norms. Part of it was because they saw the injustice that was going on. Like so many rebellious people, they look at society and they see the incorrect, and they can't come in. But they don't know what to do, so they sometimes go the opposite and actually go worse than the people that they're criticizing. However, when Jesus came to these people with a new understanding of what it means to be human, it wasn't about how rich you were. It wasn't your position in society. It wasn't your outward appearance. It was the condition of your heart. And that those with the hearts of kindness, love, mercy, and compassion were truly God's children. These people responded with fire, and they became the first Christians. Eventually, they were able to live the law better than the people who were trying to do it with their heads, because they got their heart into it. And the world of believers was increased. If you look at that circle, they basically brought people to where, you notice, all Christians know who Moses is. All Christians know who Abraham is. All Christians know who Noah and Adam. They've heard of these. How did they hear about it? Because the Jews brought it to them? No. The Christians brought Moses to the people. That's one of the signs of God, is that Jesus made Moses worldwide famous. Now moving on. Muhammad. Muhammad comes after. Now you notice Jesus went to believers but not obedient believers. Muhammad came to idol worshippers. They were still living in the days of Noah. They had fallen into idol worship. So Muhammad doesn't go to believers, he goes to unbelievers and transforms them and makes them wise, the leaders in education and science, and basically brought the wild people in. The rejects of modern civilization, brought them in, and the circle became much larger of those. And they too now know of Jesus. They too now know of Moses. They too know of Abraham, etc. And the community of God grew larger. Now then, the Bab. The Bab comes, but who does he come to? The unbelievers were already dealt with by Noah. He comes to the youth. He's coming to those youthful in spirit, youthful in consciousness, meaning open because they become aware change is necessary. And he speaks out to the youth of all peoples on the earth and says, be open to a whole new way of seeing. We've entered a new age. This is the call to the youthful in spirit, and they will become the spiritual descendants of the dawnbreakers. Lastly, Baha'u'llah comes for the whole earth, for every child born on planet Earth, and says, you too are a member of this wondrous community of God. Surrender your life, enter, and the whole community is brought together, including those not yet born, which will be brought into a beautiful reality on planet Earth. And now to finish it, look at that passage at the bottom. This is an advice. This is selected writings of the Bab. Likewise, continue thou to ascend through one revelation after another. Now this verse can only have two meanings. You should go out here and join the Jewish faith for a while, and after you've been there a while, move on and become a Christian, and then after a while become a Muslim, and eventually become a Baha'i. That's one way of interpreting this literally. But if you see that it's exactly what we've been talking about, we are all to make a journey through these stages of revelation, each one brought by a different manifestation, but they are the very steps and stages of our own personal journey. Each one of us is to give up heedlessness, if you look on the right, and become a wayfarer, and become a seeker, and declare our belief. Again, to become obedient, to become spiritual, to develop the eye of seeing divine unity, to become saintly, completely detached from the things of this world, and be guided to our destiny.